Okay friends, so we're going to do a greater occipital nerve block today, and what we're talking about is a proximal approach which targets the nerve between the oblique capitis inferior and the semispinalis capitis muscle. Let's see how we go about doing it. We feel for the occipital protuberance. We start scanning from there. So this is a high frequency 4 to 12 megahertz probe. So I'm scanning over there, and what I can see at this point is only the bony shadow, which is the occipital protuberance. So in this image you can see the midline very clearly. Let's go down from there, and the idea is to identify the midline bifid appearance of the C2 spinous process, which is roundabout over here. If I go down further, I can see the typical spinous processes appearance in the middle. So this is the midline with the spinous processes. You've got the muscles on both sides, the paraspinal muscles. So if I at this point angle my probe in such a way that the lateral end of the probe comes to lie close to the mastoid or in line with the mastoid, and the medial end of the probe moves a little caudally. So that's what I'm doing, and what I'm trying to do while I'm doing this is to make this muscle, which is the oblique capitis inferior, into a horizontal boat-like appearance. And now, as you can see, as I move my probe, this is like a horizontal muscle. So this is the oblique capitis inferior, semispinalis capitis, and this is the muscle plane where the nerve and the occipital artery would be lying, and that's our target. Sometimes you can identify the nerve, sometimes you have to target in this plane. But if you're using a nerve stimulator and a regional block needle, then identifying the nerve can become easier. If you notice very carefully, there is a hypoechoic structure. As I move the probe from proximal to caudal direction, you can see it moving laterally and going deeper. There, I can still see it. So if I move it medially, it comes up, so I can track it up and down, and as long as that's not a blood vessel, that can be the nerve. Okay. And also to note is, if I increase the depth a little bit, keeping the muscle in a horizontal fashion, then in the extreme lower corner of the screen there are the vertebral vessels. So this is the plane we are targeting, this is the vertebral vessels. If your needle is coming from medial to lateral, you want to be sure that you remain in this plane and don't cross over and go into the other plane. And before injecting, it's always a good idea to make sure that you're not targeting the occipital artery, which will also lie in this plane. So it's always a good idea to put in the Doppler and make sure that the structure, the hypoechoic structure you're targeting, is the nerve and not a blood. The traditional occipital nerve blocks where you just feel for the artery in the scalp in the posterior part and just inject, it does not work well because the nerve is very distal. That means it has already crossed the fascial planes and come very superficial, whereas the actual problem might lie where it crosses the fascial plane, and that's where it's more liable to undergo entrapment, and hence it's best targeted at a deeper plane where it's just coming off and going in between the two muscles, the oblique capitis inferior and the semispinalis capitis, as the chances of success there would be higher. Also, if you want to do a procedure like cryoablation or pulsed radiofrequency, then this is a more reliable, identifiable, targetable area which gives you better results. Let's see how the other side looks. So this is identifying the midline and possibly the C2 bifid process, if we can. So that's where the midline is now. Let me remove the processes. At this point, I'm going to move my probe laterally. We're going to angle the lateral end of the probe cranially so that we can convert the oblique capitis inferior into a boat-like horizontal appearance, and that is visible on the screen at this point. And let me try and make it a little better. Sorry. So that is the typical boat-like appearance, and if I move it a little more caudal, I'm holding the probe a little superficially so that you can see where my hand is and how my probe is placed. So this is the plane we are talking about, oblique capitis inferior, semispinalis capitis. This is the plane we are talking about, and in between I can see there is something possibly artery or a nerve. Let's put in color and see what it is. It's a continuous structure, and you can see it traveling from medial towards the lateral side, and it's continuous, and that structure is not showing any pulsation or any blood flow, so it possibly could be the nerve, and it's trackable and traceable very easily, if you know what I mean. You can see it nicely. Yeah, as I'm moving my probe up and down, it's a continuous structure which is easily identifiable. So that's your occipital nerve. I hope this has given you a good insight into how to do the occipital nerve block. Just to finish, what I inject and how I inject. So my probe would be like this. My screen image is very clear. If this is our target, my needle will come from medial going laterally. So it will come from the left end, top part of the screen, go in like this, target this fascial plane, split it out. If I'm doing it with an intention of following it up with radiofrequency or cryoablation at a later date, then I'll use low volumes. Whereas if I'm just doing it as a block, then I can use 4 to 5 mLs volume as well. This is Dr. Amod Manocha from International Pain Center. Stay tuned for more information and educational content like this.